This week on Land Beat, we're talking pollinators and wildlife habitat. I want to try to break down a barrier or a mental block that seems to be out there with pollinators. And it's specifically when we're talking pollinator habitat, government cost share programs. So a lot of people are familiar with CRP, and some people are familiar with NRCS programs like EQIP and the pollinator incentives and initiatives to try to get more acres planted for pollinators. And that sounds like programs that are designed to attract bees and butterflies, which of course that is true. But the thing about these pollinator programs is they're not just great for bees and butterflies. They're incredibly beneficial to other species, especially the wild turkey and even the white-tailed deer. When you see a field that looks as pretty as this, a lot of times you just think, oh, it's just a field of wildflowers, which that's true. But this is incredibly beneficial to white-tailed deer from a forage standpoint and from a fawning standpoint. So there's tons of forage out here for a deer to eat, and you can find plenty of it being browsed upon, but it's also incredibly beneficial for fawns to seek cover, and once they start foraging, there's tons of vegetation here for white-tailed deer. From a turkey standpoint, look at this and think about all the flowers that are blooming and all the insects that they are attracting that a turkey can eat. And if you look close, you can see some bare ground that a turkey can navigate through, having cover, umbrella-like cover, as well as the insects to attract to eat. Now, we planted this, if you remember right, we filmed here just over a year ago. So this was just a barren landscape. We broadcasted this patch of wildflowers, and then we have a strip of switchgrass right here for screening. So this is an area, and I think a lot of people have this on their farm or they think about, it's next to a boundary. So we don't want to plant a food plot right next to the boundary. We want to provide benefit, but we don't want to provide an attraction so much that we're going to have deer standing right next to the boundary during hunting season. So this is very beneficial during the growing season, but not as attractive, and it's certainly not more attractive than a food plot during the fall of the year when it's hunting season. So during the summer months, antlers are growing, they're going to be foraging here. This is going to be green and growing long before food plots or soybean fields are growing. So we've got vegetation just as soon as antlers start growing. We've got green vegetation, high protein. It's incredibly attractive. But this was just part of an incentive to put pollinator habitat on the ground. We didn't use any programs, but we used one of the mixes from one of our other programs to plant here. We just bought extra for our pollinator planting to plant this area. So if you're thinking about converting areas into more beneficial wildlife habitat, look into the pollinator programs. They're incredibly beneficial for wildlife. They're very showy, as you can see the wildflowers. Wives, kids love them, and there's something that shouldn't be slept upon or thought over just because it's for bees and butterflies.